Now that you can decompose tasks and shape output with constraints, the next challenge is evaluating what comes back.
This module focuses on spotting errors in answers that look correct at first glance, because on the exam, over a fifth of your score depends on catching subtle mistakes in generated code, logic, or data.
We'll move from writing prompts to systematically validating results, so you can trust the output before moving forward.
CCAO-F 4 Steps 75 Minutes Blueprint, D2 Output Evaluation and Validation, 21% of the exam. Here is how this module builds up.
The problem: a confident, well-structured answer feels true, but fluency and accuracy are independent. Fabrication concentrates in precise, low-salience details like citations and statistics, while the general reasoning is often sound.
This partial accuracy is more dangerous than total unreliability because it suppresses your skepticism. The 3-pass read breaks that spell. First, mark every checkable claim without judging. Second, sort by consequence so you verify what matters most. Third, verify at the source, not by asking the AI.
You are about to practice this on a real answer in your own domain. Here is the sequence to run yourself. High-risk details. Pass 1, mark claims. Pass 2, sort. Pass 3, verify. Triage prompt.
Partial accuracy is more dangerous than uniform unreliability. 5 correct citations lend credibility to the 6th, fabricated one.
When an output looks good but isn't good enough, the problem is usually one of two things: inaccuracy or incompleteness. Inaccuracy means something in the answer is wrong.
Incompleteness means everything there is correct, but something that changes the conclusion is missing. Incompleteness is the sneakier failure because every check you run on the words in front of you passes. The only way to catch it is to compare the output against an external reference, a checklist, a template, or a colleague's knowledge, and you must build that reference before you read the answer. Otherwise, your checklist gets contaminated by what you just saw. In this exercise, you will write your own reference list first, then test an output for both accuracy and completeness, and finally run an anchored comparison prompt that supplies the access to compare alone.
Here is the sequence to run yourself. Reference list. Accuracy score. Completeness score. Anchored prompt. Do not pad.
A long answer can feel complete but be more dangerous than a short one, because its thoroughness implies there are no missing categories.
The problem is not ignorance, it is that verification competes with delivery and loses.
The fix is a routine cheap enough to run every time. This 5-move routine takes about 10 minutes. It forces you to classify the output, extract the claims that actually matter, surface hidden assumptions, rank by consequence, verify only what is above the line, and, crucially, write down what you chose not to check. That last move converts invisible risk into visible risk, so the recipient knows exactly what to rely on.
You are about to run all 5 moves on a real output of your own. Here is the sequence to run yourself. Classify by output type. Surface unstated assumptions. Draw the line before verifying. Verify at the source. Write the note.
The routine degrades to verifying only the claims you happen to notice, skipping classification, ranking, and the note. That feels like verification but misses the unstated assumptions that are the real danger.
Steps 1 to 3 taught you to check your own work. This step is about knowing when your check isn't the one that counts, when an output must go to someone with authority you don't have. It solves the problem of assuming that if something looks right, it's safe to send.
The core reasoning is that confidence in the output is not an input to this decision. Instead, you weigh 5 factors: reversibility, blast radius, authority, verifiability, and regulatory exposure. Most cases resolve on reversibility versus blast radius. But the subtlest trigger is verifiability. If you can't check something and someone else can, that alone justifies passing it on. Escalation is not abdication, it means handing over your analysis plus your uncertainty. Now you'll apply this to 4 real outputs from your own work.
Here is the sequence to run yourself. Reversibility. Blast radius. Authority. Verifiability. Regulatory exposure. Confidence in the output is not an input to this decision. The question is never is this right, but is it mine to send? So remember, a good-looking answer can still be built on a made-up source.
Incompleteness is invisible, don't mistake length for completeness. When you validate, classify every claim before you check any of them. And never let your own confidence decide whether an output leaves your desk unchecked.